Last time on Keith Plays PS4 927. Alright, so as you know, the Toronto Huskies creamed the Green Bay Packers 73-7, so we won by 66 points. 35 points in the third quarter, by the way. Offensive yards gained 229 for Toronto, 17 for Green Bay. 61 rushing yards, passing yards 168. Green Bay had 8 first downs. We had 7. Punt return yards 102. We did not punt at all, so they didn't return anything. Green Bay had 8 turnovers on the day. Third down conversions, they had 2. Fourth down, neither team did that. Offensive percentage, we were 100. We were 80. 3 offensive red zone touchdowns, 1 offensive red zone field goal. And the player stats were Andy Dalton had a perfect passer rating of 158.3 with 143 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. Cam Newton, 118.7 passer rating with 30 yards on the day, no touchdowns. Jordan Love, 117.1 passer rating with 1 touchdown on the day. Frank Gore, 5 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown. Cam Newton, 2 carries, 20 yards, and no touchdowns. TJ Yeldon, 1 carry, 4 yards, and 1 touchdown on the day. Receiving wise, AJ Green, 2 yards shy from making that big 100 there. 2 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown. Corey Davis, 2 receptions, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Devin Funchess, 3 receptions and 32 yards and 1 touchdown. Defensively, let's see how many sacks. Jawan Bentley had 2 sacks, along with Robert Quinn and Malcolm Jenkins. J.J. Watt had 1 sack. Willie Henry and Eric Harris had 1 sack. There was no INTs. Is there any fumble recoveries? There was a lot there. So there were no safeties whatsoever. Alright, we are facing off the Dallas Cowboys on our first preseason road game on this Toronto Huskies franchise. Get a road preseason win, that's what our objective is. Drew Brees versus Dak Prescott, 2 great quarterbacks as the teams are undefeated in the preseason. But you may never know what team will remain undefeated by the regular season ending. Like the 2007 Patriots, they were undefeated.
Tonight, from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, it's week 3 of the NFL preseason on EA Sports. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys versus Andy Dalton and the Toronto Huskies.
Alright, we are here in the DFW area in Arlington, Texas, as the Dallas Cowboys kick it off. And we got Shaq Jefferson ready to return a kickoff for the Toronto Huskies. He's going to break tackles, and he's going to get stopped at the 38 there. So this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Toronto Huskies. This is Andy Dalton's homecoming back to Texas, as he spent last season with the Dallas Cowboys. And Chris Thompson, the former Washington Redskins running back, only gained 5 yards on that play. So this is going to be a 2nd and 5 now for the Washington Huskies. For the Toronto Huskies, excuse me. Toronto's in Canada, not the United States. So this is going to be a 1st and 10 from the 41 here in Arlington, Texas. And he's going to think about running the ball to Chris Thompson. And he gets stopped at the 36. 2nd and 5 for the Toronto Huskies on offense. So we're going to be at the 36 there. So now we're going to throw the football to Nelson Aguilar. Many of these Toronto Huskies players used to play for the NFC East. So they should be used to playing against this Dallas Cowboys team, because the Eagles, the Giants, and Washington Redskins / football team are rivals of the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to pass it to AJ Green, a former teammate from Cincinnati. First receiving touchdown of the game as the Huskies now lead this 7-0 here in Arlington, Texas. All right, this is going to be 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys as Ezekiel Elliott runs it for 6 yards. This will be a 2nd and 4 now for the Dallas Cowboys as they have their first offensive possession. So Dak Prescott really wants this Dallas Cowboys team to win and possibly score their first touchdown of the game. And they do make a 22-yard reception there, 1 for 1, as it's now going to be at the 37. So the Huskies were formerly the New York Jets, so really we're not going to play them this regular season. And this will be a 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys as they are at the 27 there. We're going to use the nickel formation on defense as we are at the 27. So now he's going to hand the ball off to Ezekiel Elliott. Loses a couple yards there, at least 2 on that play. So this is going to be 2nd and 12 now for the Dallas Cowboys. They're at the 29-yard line, and they're going to think about throwing the ball. Could have been intercepted, though. Could have been intercepted, but this is 3rd and 12 for the Dallas Cowboys. And he's going to throw the ball to Amari Cooper, the former Oakland Raider. Gets a touchdown, and this is now going to be a 7-7 tie here in Arlington, Texas. All right, first it's kickoff time here in Arlington as the Dallas Cowboys kick it off. Shaq Jefferson will be our return man for this Toronto Huskies football team. All right, we see that nice big jumbotron in Arlington in the DFW area in the 469 Dr. Pepper country, as I call it, because Dr. Pepper was actually founded in Waco, Texas in 1885. A year older than Coca-Cola. For me, I'm a Dr. Pepper guy. I love Dr. Pepper. And now this is going to be a 1st and 10 from the 41. We got 5 seconds to go before this first quarter ends. So he's going to pass it quarterback to quarterback. Incomplete. Intended for Joe Flacco there. And this is going to be a 2nd and 10 now for the Toronto Huskies as they have possession of the football. And they're going to run the ball they're going to hand the ball off to Chris Thompson. Gets a 1st down. 3 rushes, 20 yards. And this will now be a 1st and 10 for the Toronto Huskies. So they're trying to take the lead here in Arlington. And everyone's goal really is to have at least 16 wins in a season, no losses. That's what happened to the 07 Patriots here. So now this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Toronto Huskies. We are in the red zone. In fact, I'm going to throw it to Flacco, and he gets a receiving touchdown there. So we have so many quarterbacks on our team, mainly backups in case if one of ours gets injured, and sometimes they're even allowed to really be your wide receiver, play wide receiver, or return punt and kickoffs, which is really interesting. That's what Taysom Hill could do for the New Orleans Saints. All right, it's 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line here in Arlington, Texas. There, Zeke Elliott gets a 5-yard rush there, and this is going to be a 2nd and 5 for the Dallas Cowboys. So they're at the 35-yard line now, and they're trying to get a reception. They catch it, and this is going to be a 1st and 10. 3rd and 1 for the Dallas Cowboys. Toronto is on defense. They're trying to claim a INT. And he breaks tackles. Zeke Elliott, does he get a first down? Yes, he does. And he's trying to get his first touchdown of the game after Amari Cooper scored his first touchdown. So now this is going to be a 1st and 10 from the 47 here in in Arlington, Texas. And he's going to hand the ball off, and he will get stopped by one of our by the defense. He gets stopped. Kenny Clark there made the stop, and we're going to take a 2-minute warning break. All right, 2nd and 13 now for the Dallas Cowboys. Now this is going to be 3rd and 13 as they made that incomplete pass. They're at the 44-yard line, so we're going to play some defense here in AT&T Stadium. Opened up in 2009. He's going to throw the ball, and this is going to be an incomplete pass. 4th and 13 now for the Dallas Cowboys. They have to punt. Isaac Antetokounmpo will be our return man for this Toronto Huskies team. Number 29 is ready to return. He just recently signed with the team today. He's going to break a couple of tackles, breaks another one. And his goal is to try to get it all the way to the other side of the field. Breaks tackles, he's going to run it, and he's going to slide on into the end zone. Touchdown Huskies, and they now take the 21-0 lead. 100-yard punt return, yard for a touchdown. And we're going to take a break, so we'll see you guys when we are back on offense. All right, it is punt return time here in Arlington, and Isaac Antetokounmpo is going to return it. Get stopped at the 19 there, so this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Toronto Huskies. Now we're going to use our primary Chris Thompson ready to run this in. He's going to run it in, and he will get a first down, and this, my friends, will conclude the first half. All right, it is kickoff time here in AT&T Stadium to begin the second half. Robbie Gould kicks it off, the former Chicago Bears kicker, and the Dallas Cowboys will be ready to return there, and they will get stopped at 32. So this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to hand the ball to Ezekiel Elliott, and he loses. He does not lose nor gain any yards. So this is going to be this will now be 2nd and 10 from the 32. Passes it to Amari Cooper. Gets stopped in the middle of the field at the 50. 5 for 10, 89 yards, and a touchdown so far for Dak Prescott. And he's been the only quarterback for this Dallas Cowboys team throwing the ball, and for this game in particular. So this is going to be a 2nd and 10 from the 50-yard line here in Arlington. So they're going to try to move the chains and get a first down, and possibly their 2nd touchdown of the game. CeeDee Lamb made a reception there, and it gets stopped at the 44. 3rd and 4 now for the Dallas Cowboys as they are on offense. 4 yards away from getting that big first down. And Michael Gallup, he's going to get it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cowboys. 44-yard touchdown, and this will be a 21-14. Still a 21-14 lead, but the Huskies are leading this by 7. All right, it is kickoff time here in the Lone Star State of Texas, and the Toronto Huskies are ready to return this kickoff. Breaks a tackle and gets stopped at the 45 there. Joe Hayden made that return, the former Cleveland Browns and Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback. So I'm going to hand the ball off to Chris Thompson, and he's going to do a juke move, does another juke move, and gets a first down for the Toronto Huskies. 5 rushes, 44 yards in all. And he's hoping to get at least a 100-yard rushing day. So this is where we really want to be at. So now Thompson does another, gets stopped at 35. So this is going to be a 2nd and inches now for the Toronto Huskies. And I'm going to think about throwing the ball. Maybe I'm going to just run it in. Threw it too deep. Incomplete. But Andy Dalton, positive thing about that, he has at least over 100 passing yards. So I'm just going to run on 3rd down here because I'm definitely going to get a 1st down no matter what. And he gets 4 yards on that rush. So this is going to be a 1st and 10 now for the Toronto Huskies. And I'm thinking I'm going to throw the ball to Rob Gronkowski, and he gets a touchdown. And this is a 30-yarder, and this will be a 28-14 lead for the Toronto Huskies. All right, it's 2nd and 10 now from the 34 here in Arlington. He passes the ball to Blake Jarwin, and this is going to be a 3rd and 9 for the Dallas Cowboys here as they are ready to move the ball and possibly get a 1st down here. And this is 3rd and 9 from the 36. And he's going to throw it. Oh, it's going to be an INT there. And it was Jimmy Smith that made that INT. And this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Toronto Huskies. And I think this is Dallas's first turnover of the game. I'm going to throw the ball deep to Joe Flacco. Gets a reception, 8 out of 10 there, 163 yards for Andy Dalton this season. So this is pretty good. This is where we really want to be at right now. And there's only 12 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter. So I'm going to throw the ball to Rob Gronkowski. He breaks tackles and gets stopped at the 15. This will end the 3rd quarter, though. Here in Arlington, the Dallas Cowboys are trailing by 14. The Huskies are leading this 28-14. All right, 1st and 10 from the 15. I'm going to pass the ball to Bobby Iverson. Gets an incompletion there. Andy Dalton threw for most of the game. And now this is Cam Newton's turn to throw the football. And that's going to be another incomplete pass there. And it's going to be 0 for 2. 3rd and 10. We are still in the red zone. But if we do not make a 1st down, our only option is to get a field goal. And we do make a touchdown. And it's now going to be a first receiving touchdown of the game for Kenny Stills. And this will be now a 35-14 lead here in Arlington, Texas, as the Huskies might take the win home. Might take the win on the road. All right, 2nd and 11 now from the 33 here as the Dallas Cowboys are ready to play some football. They're going to throw the ball. He's going to pass it to Blake Jarwin. And this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys as they're ready to play some offense here in Dr. Pepper country of Texas. The Lone Star State is what they call it in Texas. So, largest state in the U.S., I think by land and population, if I'm not mistaken. Could be both, I don't know. But I'm from Pennsylvania, so it's one of the largest. PA is also one of the largest states in the U.S. in the contiguous 48 states. So the 48 contiguous states are all connected. Alaska and Hawaii are not a part of the 48 contiguous states, but they are part of the U.S. And this is going to be a 3rd and 10 from the 44 here in Dallas, here in Arlington. And Isaac Antetokounmpo, who you saw got that punt return for a touchdown, makes the sack there. 4th and 17 as Dallas makes its final stop before the 2-minute warning, and they do not make the stop anyway. So this is still 4th and 17, and they're gonna go for it on 4th down. And I don't think they're gonna make it on 4th down, is what my assumption is. So they're gonna throw it deep. Could have been intercepted there. We were that close from Jimmy Smith getting another INT, so this is now going to be a 1st and 10 for the Toronto Huskies. Chris Thompson gets a rush, and this will be, no, Frank Gore, excuse me. 1 rush, 8 yards, and we are still going to use Frank Gore until the end of the football game. So I'm going to hand the ball off to Gore, and he's going to get stopped at the 35 there. So this is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Toronto Huskies. I'm going to hand the ball off to Frank Gore, and he's going to get a 1st down there. There's only 1 minute to go before this football game is over. So I'm just going to do one final passing play, really. I'm going to use formation. I might go for the X-slant. I'm only going to do one more passing play, unless if we get a 1st down, is what I'm saying. So unless if we get a 1st down, passes it to Kenny Stills, the former Houston Texans and Miami Dolphins wide receiver. And this is going to be a 1st and goal. They're at the 7-yard line, 30 seconds, 20 seconds to go now, because I'm going to pass it to a receiver. And we do not get the 1st down. Passes it to Jawan Bentley. And the clock winds down. We're not going to make a snap here. And the game is over. The Toronto Huskies are your winners on the road against the Dallas Cowboys in this preseason game here in Arlington, Texas. So this was a pretty fun one to watch. And we'll explain more about that in statistics. All right. Score was 35-14 here in Arlington, Texas. The Huskies won it on the road by 21 points. Total offense, 307 for Toronto, 182 for Dallas. 82 rushing yards, 28 for Dallas. 225 passing yards for Toronto, 154 for Dallas. 13 first downs and 7 for Dallas. So Dallas only had a turnover. It was that interception on Jimmy Smith. So Toronto did not get an INT. Well, Pat threw an INT, 2-point conversions. No, neither team did that. So now let's go to the player stats. So Andy Dalton in his homecoming back to Arlington, Texas, where he played for the Dallas Cowboys last season, threw a perfect pass rating of 158.3, 9 out of 11 there, 187 yards, 3 touchdowns there. Dak Prescott, 93.8 passer rating, 8 out of 16 there, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns and 1 INT. Cam Newton, 123.3, 3 out of 5 there, 38 yards, and a touchdown. James Dixon, 58.3, 3 out of 6, 21 yards. Why did I go back? I'm supposed to go to the rushing. Ezekiel Elliott, 7 rushes, 24 yards. No touchdowns there. Chris Thompson, 6 rushes, 54 yards. Frank Gore, 3 rushes, 24 yards. Dak Prescott, 1 rush, 24 yards. Rob Gronkowski, most receptions out of any team, though. 4 receptions, 82 yards, and a touchdown. Michael Gallup, 3 receptions, 82 yards, and a touchdown. Kenny Stills, 2 receptions, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Joe Flacco, 2 receptions, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Amari Cooper, 2 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown. And AJ Green, with his only reception of the game, scored for a TD. Defensively, let's see how many sacks. Isaac Antetokounmpo had the game's only sack of the game. Had the only team sack of the game. Jimmy Smith, 1 INT. And there was no safeties, no defensive touchdowns, but we want to see the kick return, or the punt return. 104 yards, 100 was his longest, and 1 touchdown for Isaac Antetokounmpo. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace out.